Hey y'all, it's your girl Sia, and I'm back with another video. Y'all, today was a very interesting day. First off, I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Today is Tuesday, so happy Taco Tuesday to you guys. I wanted to do a follow-up video because I know that, my issue is something it's pretty universal. It's pretty common with Black people. And I know that I'm going to go ahead and put that down for a little bit. I know I have been speaking on it, so I want to do an update. Ah, shoot. Gosh darn it. Hang on, y'all. Sorry, guy. I know they're like, I'm always about to crash into somebody at this gosh darn office. Hang on. I had to slam my ice so my drink doesn't fall all over the place. But I told you guys how, and you know what? I really F with my boss. And the reason being is because he really is a real person, okay? And the reason why I say this is because what obviously last week I had was a meltdown, a meltdown essentially. I don't cry, I get angry, whereas other women may break down and cry, and then that's a whole thing. But for me, I don't cry, I get upset, right? And so, like I said, although I had been talking about it on this channel, I had never really, I drop hints because I try not to be as direct. So I definitely drop a lot of hints in terms of, I don't know if I want to get me flowers today. First of all, tomorrow's Valentine's Day. I'm going to finish my thought, but tomorrow's Valentine's Day, y'all. I kept my promise to myself. I bought me my ring, although it's coming in the mail, so I won't get it until I think the date they gave me was March 1st, but at least I got it. And then I want to get me a bouquet of flowers, right? And I've already got my daughter her stuff. She's got like a giant card and a stuffy. But I was real proud of myself because I was like, oh no, I don't know if I'll be able to make this happen with everything. Just, I don't always know. This car, I'm not doing this shit, my friend. Sorry, but not so much, buddy. Freaking driver. Like, why are you driving? See, and I would be annoyed if I had to drive that slow. That's why road rage happens, because folks really don't like it. And I bet you road rage really happens more with people who like don't drive the speed limit, right? That's just what it is. I think I might want to go over a block. I think that's what's about to happen because these folks acting like they don't know how to drive. I think we're gonna go ahead and do that. If it's a through street, we're gonna go ahead and take that one because I don't have the patience, not today. But anywho, you guys, I wanted to back to my subject at hand. So I told you guys that the other day I kind of walked off the job, right? I was really upset. And there was no one there that I felt like I could speak to. Normally, it would have been my boss who I would have had a certain communication with. Because he wasn't there, I did not know how other people would perceive me or read me. Okay. And so I was at the point, like I said, where I felt like I was going to revert back to an old me that I have not been in a very long time. And so instead of showing that side of me, it made more sense for me to just dip. Okay. Now, with that being said, I don't never do that. Okay. So obviously there was something wrong with me, right? That's the obvious. I'm upset. There's something going on. And several times when I had spoke to my boss, right? Well, this car is coming pretty quickly. I could jump out, but I'm not gonna do that to you, player. But when I spoke to my boss about how I was feeling and the circumstances and everything going on, um, I was surprised. So all week, you guys, because I sent him an email and I was like, listen, normally I bite my tongue on these matters. You're not going to really see me going like talking too much about it. I try to be mindful that everybody's different. Everybody has their own struggles and their own things that they're kind of dealing with, right? And I'm not really a person that goes and tells on people. Like, I know that's a thing in the workspace. That is not me. Okay. Come on, car. Cool. All right. But that's just not me, right? I'm not a tattleteller. I don't know why grown ass adults do that shit, but it's really not in my makeup or my personality. Like, I really don't care. And even when I do care, I feel as though it's kind of childish to go to the boss every 5 minutes when you don't like somebody or personalities clash. And I'm just really not that girl for it, right? However, for me to walk off the job, shit's been building up, right? And I took a day to myself and was like, fuck this. I had the tax manager reach out to me. I'm not talking to none of y'all. I'll rethink my choice tomorrow. Okay. So obviously, I started working. That's fine. My boss, which is pretty cool about him, is he's really good with understanding that his employees are human, right? And that we may have a time where we're burnt out or we need a mental health day or something of that nature, right? And so he's totally understanding. That's, I don't know, it's very different, but I appreciate that. Okay. Now, he hits me up and he's like, hey, I know you're overwhelmed, right, in an email, but hey, don't say this, yada, yada, yada. And I told him, I said, I'm not overwhelmed. I'm upset. Do you understand me? I'm unhappy. That's exactly what I told him. I'm unhappy. And I wasn't rude or anything in the email. It's just I asked a question that I should technically already know, but because processes, things are just not as organized as I thought they would be this year. Oh, that ain't him. Okay. I had to ask a question. Sometimes it's easier getting the information from the client than trying to hunt the information down. So I get his point, but I think he understood mine, right? So I basically told him I'm unhappy with processes right now, right? Not all the time, but right now I'm really upset with this. Okay, my boss is not in town, so meaning the conversation can only go so far because everything gets misconstrued in email. Well, when I walked off, I saw a chat. So the next day, I seen a chat from this girl. I told you guys, she happens to be blonde hair, blue eyed, right? And she told me, please come back to the office, yada, yada, yada. This is the girl that's never at the office, has an excuse for why she's not there all the time. And I'm always picking up her slack 1000%. Not even a question. Like, it is guaranteed. That's what I do. I do her job and my job. Okay. Now, I told my boss today, I go in because obviously I went in yesterday. Nobody talks to me, right? Because they don't know. I'm sure some folks were hoping that I would get fired or something like that. But whatever. And like I told him, I told my boss today, the tax manager, I told him, I said, listen, I said, I was under the impression I was going to get fired. So I felt like I should say it and get it out. And if you guys were going to fire me, fuck it, you fire me, right? That's really what my mentality was. Now, I did not curse in this email. And again, I don't want to assume, but dealing with women versus men, it's just a little different in how they read things and how they take things, right? So the whole weekend, now I did my hair, y'all, focus, but I'm freaking out about going to work because I'm like, damn, I'm sorry, guy. If I go to work, right, I was a little, but if I go to work, I may get fired because the stigma is that Black people cannot speak out about their circumstances. And usually my experiences have been that anytime I speak out, like I've had a lady put her hands on me at the fucking job, and these folks still felt that it was okay to fire me, but not her. I never hit her back. I should have pressed charges for all the shit that I had to deal with. But yes, I have been through some interesting experiences with these white people, okay? And I don't know if it's because I don't really know what that's about, right? I've had a white woman, two different white women, put their hands on me twice. The first time it happened, I was at the Environmental Protection Agency, and y'all know damn well I went directly to the boss, let her know I was uncomfortable. She was Spanish. And the girl got fired immediately, and they distributed our pay so that her pay was our bonus type shit. So we all got a raise out of that shit, which was very interesting. The second time someone put their hands on me, I was working for a temp kind of service, and I didn't have the protection that I should have had, if that makes sense. And so again, it was more so because I made it a big deal, and as I should have, obviously I was the one who reaped the consequences of it. In this case, I don't know that I feel a lot of things, but I think it's because, again, things are not really communicated. When you're dealing with the tax manager, he's very passive in a way. So he doesn't know how to say, hey, look, this is an issue. I'm unhappy. What are we going to do to fix it? Right? He's not as direct as me. So he has a different way of approaching situations that, I'm sorry, my patience apparently was not having it. Okay. So I let my boss know in an email, right? And I did it on purpose because email writing, for some reason, I'm able to express myself better. Don't you hit my car, lady. You driving all crazy, girl. I don't shake your head at me all you want to. But I'm really good at expressing myself when I'm upset through words, through writing, not really so much verbally, right? Because I'm really upset in that moment. And I sent him an email, one, because it's a documentation trail. You always want to, for some reason, I found that when I send paper versus speaking, because people think I'm like, I don't know what it is, but they don't take me seriously when I speak, right? When I write something, though, the response to me is a lot different. Okay. So I advise, and just so you guys know, anytime you're dealing with management and leadership and you're Black and you kind of feel like maybe I don't know if I should say this, I don't know if I have the right to say this, do it in writing. Obviously, get your point across, do it respectfully, but do it in writing, right? Because again, that's always a way to cover your ass if anybody decides they want to pull some bullshit talking about they feel uncomfortable because you were rude or whatever, right? I'm trying to see, can I get up there? I do got space in the lane. Hang on. I'm not gonna come all the way from over there, but sorry, y'all. I don't want to go out from this far of the lane, but I am. Okay, sorry, y'all. I was blocking the way for people to go. But anywho, so um I think that having things in writing when you have to have that difficult conversation is important. I don't know that having this conversation in writing was necessary. I will say that I felt like it was needed and it was necessary, so I did it. Um, as far as the response though, because all weekend I'm like, fuck, like, why did I send that? Because now I'm watching these TikTok videos with these people that are talking about they can't afford the rent. And I'm sitting here thinking people were getting laid off and shit. And I'm thinking, like, I'm living a really decent life right now, right? So why ruffle, why shake up the boat if I don't have to? So I'm starting to kind of regret what I did. But at the same time, I'm like, this is a real conversation. Like, this needs to be had. And in that email, I made it very clear who's doing the work and who's not. Who is someone that we're able to count on and who's not, right? I know I'm not in the lines. Okay. Um, and today I come in and I'm talking to my boss because yesterday again, everybody's super petty, and I've been on folks' helmets today. My preparers are all men. They're 50 something plus years old. There's no reason for you to be as petty as you fucking are, right? So I called them out on their petty shit. Like, this is like we're grown ass people and y'all over here being petty, arguing about who sits in a seat first. The fuck? Like, like for real, the shit is. I was like, I don't know if that's my bad. I didn't know if the light changed pretty quickly. Um, but I don't know why men are so petty. They're like fucking 5-year-olds, bro. That like I'm the grown adult on the team and these folks is older than me. And a lot of the attitude that I get is sass that I get, right? It's because they're not the boss. They don't understand how I'm in the spot that I'm in. Like, I literally have a totally different schedule than them, right? I have a different work process than them. And in their minds, they see me as being above them, which I'm not necessarily, right? I just happen to have a different skill set that's applied in a different manner that gets shit done. It's just what it is. And I said this and I'll say it again. My tax manager told me, poor guy, because he's younger than me by a lot, right? And he's like, see, when you left, I didn't know what to do. He said, I didn't know. And that's a problem in itself, right? Because how do you have a tax manager that if I was to leave, he doesn't even know how to take over and run shit? That's a problem. But I already know what value I add to this team, right? And this company, right? I know this. Fuck everybody else. But I think last week helped folks to understand that I'm not really like I'm not. I mean, you can throw me away if you want to. You know. I just don't know what state the company in terms of tax returns would fall under. And I know my boss and I know him well enough to know that he's going to do what is necessary to get the returns done, right? However, right, what shape and in what condition and in what time frame would that be? Okay, it just is what it is. So for him to tell me that tells me that he's understanding that I have more value than what you seem to think, right? And that was important. I'm not saying that people should walk off the job because I understand that does not work for every company. Okay. I'm not even saying that worked for me. Like I told my tax manager, I said, listen, I'll do better next time, right? Now that I know that I can come to you when I'm in that state of mind, because the thing is, there's a girl that I work with, right, that I absolutely adore, right? And even when I'm unhappy, that girl can get a conversation from me. It was so bad she couldn't even. I was like, girl, I'm not even having it. Don't talk to me. Don't joke with me. This is not the time. Like, that's how upset I was. So I told my tax manager's like, come on now. I thought we had a better relationship than that. And I'm like, well, I don't really know. I don't talk to these people about me, right? I don't know. You know, I may be cool and all, you may be cool and all, but if I need a mental health day, are you gonna give it to me? Or am I just gonna take it? right? So we had this conversation, and I do understand his point, because no offense, poor kid. I mean, I get it, right? Your teammate just left, and now you stuck to hold the ball, and you really don't know what you're doing, right? I get it, right? So I apologize, and I let him know that I will handle it differently than I did before. And he understood, right? But what was interesting is, like I said, clearly I ruffled some fucking feathers, right? And I'm okay with that, right? Because shit needed to be said, just like my tax manager said. He said, I probably would have done it a little differently. He said, but what needed to be said was said, and it needed to get out. So, which tells me that he's been pussyfooting around the conversation, all right? I ain't got time for it. So the girl who thought that she was going to tell me, and like I told my boss, she ain't here enough for me to have that level of respect from her. Because my boss gonna say, well, she was an arm of me, and she was just doing what I asked her to do, yada, yada, yada. I said, well, listen. And he tried to play that role of me being defensive. I said, listen, I took what she said, and I took it as exactly what she said. It is not my job to read in between nobody's fucking lines. I don't know what kind of, like, where this idea came from that people are supposed to be able to read your fucking mind. Like, no, you say what you say, and when it's in writing, I'm gonna read it exactly how you fucking wrote it. And even my tax manager said, right? I'm not trying to race you, BMW. I ain't got time for that. They see me go fast, they like, oh, let's race. No, I'm going fast so I can go. um, but so my thing is this, right? I ask you, and this is the hardest thing when I'm dealing with people, right? Is in this case, right? This is, if you're telling me what to do and I'm the one usually on top of you, the respect level that you think you're going to get is little to none, right? It just is what it is. I'm sorry, if my work ethic is stronger than yours, um who do you think you are telling me what to do? Especially if you're not my designated boss. And I made it very clear what I said to her and what I expect from her, right? So my boss tried to, oh, well, I think you're trying. No, we're not playing that bullshit. I don't give a damn, white girl or not. She stepped out of line. That was not her place. And even my tax manager agreed. He said it. He said that wasn't right. I understand that, you want the people, you got everybody reaching out to me, but that wasn't the person to have reach out to me. There's no respect there. It's that simple. I sent it to my tax manager before I showed the owner of the company, look, this is what she said. Are we really doing this right now? And he agreed. And you know what also he said? He said, I showed her your email. I didn't know that. And he said he asked her, what is he supposed to say to what I wrote? Because I'm right. I don't give a damn if if your personal life is so fucked up to where you cannot show up and do what you promised us you were going to do. Like, you're not dependable. We cannot rely on you, but you have the audacity to think you're going to tell me what I need to be doing? Okay. And I think, again, because people are so used to a certain level of privilege, especially over somebody like me, right? That they get in this habit of what they expect people to say and do and how they expect them to respond. Turns out I'm right. And it's not about being right as much as it is like, bro, I'm fucking doing her work, so I need her pay. You see what I'm saying? Because what you're not going to do is play this game of, oh, my personal life is so fucked up, but you still collecting a paycheck. Meanwhile, you pushing all of your fucking work on me. That's not how that goes. And I'm sorry, maybe at other companies that shit flies, right? But with me, that shit is not okay. Not okay. So obviously, I ruffled some feathers because folks got put in a place. That girl showed up to work today. She showed up at like 2:12, something like that, maybe 1, right? But I got more skin in the game. I don't care about what you did 2, 3 years ago. I'm talking about since I've known you. The girl has never been consistent at her job at all, but has the audacity to think that she gonna tell me what I need to be doing. And I promise you, my boss's thought process is very much more in alignment with mine. Why would you do that? Get the fuck over. The fuck? Fucking idiot. Excuse my language. So I'm actually I'm not shocked, I guess, to see how it turned out. I am relieved. I think that's more of the feeling that I feel is just thank you for dealing with the situation and being honest and real about the situation. Now, my boss tried to say, well, when you walk out, it takes away the credibility of your whatever. That's that, you're not supposed to walk off the job nonsense. But the reality of it is you put me in a predicament where I felt like I had no choice. And I knew what I was doing. A smart business owner, especially when you know that somebody is really adding a level of value to the company, you're going to change your tune. It's that simple. Now, if I didn't add any value to the company, oh, he'd have been like, girl, you fired. That's how that would have went. But because the job itself, I know it sounds crazy, but it is kind of centered around me. It's not centered around me like my thoughts, my personality, my opinion, but in the sense of the work that I do. I am the engine of this entire thing. So it's like, and that's just how the position is set up, you know? And when you have someone that does it well, which is very difficult, what I do for a living right now is not easy. It's not. And I'm a tax. Yep, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. There's hella traffic. I'm all stuck in a tunnel. There must be an accident or something that happened. This is the first time I've seen this. It's real traffic, like bumper to bumper traffic right now. That's crazy. Sorry, y'all. I don't never come across this, but this is, I guess, today, Tuesday. Like, what the hell, man? It must be an accident, is what I'm thinking. Somebody must have got in an accident. It's crazy. Anywho, so it was cool. Like I said, I don't know what it is. And I really think it's because of privilege, right? White people are so used to being able to blame Black people and minorities in general at a job site, right? They're so quick to fire a Black person or a minority for stupid ass shit, right? And I feel like because of the dynamics, once again, he's showing me that as a minority, and not that I'm his favorite, right? Obviously, him and I get along. We've got much more in common than we don't, if that makes sense. And that does help because I think he understands where I'm coming from. So, like today, when he tried to pull, well, I think you're trying to get the fact. Nope, cutting that shit out. I'm not hearing that bullshit. And I said that. I didn't cuss. But obviously, I was like, no, sir, this is what she said. I read what she said. And you damn right. If I'm telling you I don't have no respect for her because she doesn't work, you damn right I took it some type of way. The fuck? That's common sense. Even my tax manager, he was like, I can't believe she sent that to you. He sent the wrong arm. And my tax manager said, I had a conversation with the owner. He said, he said, my boss, he said, he always tells me to tell him when he's doing something wrong. And this was the one time that I sat down and told him. And what he said was, he backed me up 1,000%. He said, she's not wrong. So everything that I was saying, he's like, you know me, I don't do the people telling thing. He's very similar to me. He said, but she's not wrong. So that's when my boss took it to the girl and was like, okay, how do you expect me to reply to this? What do you want me to say to this? So, the girl came in today, and me, y'all, my job moves like this. Like, I probably had the busiest job in that office, okay, especially during tax season. So I'm doing my job is a million and one different things, right? It's very hard to scale. Whereas most of the other people's jobs is simply tax returns or bookkeeping or something like that. It's very the same shit every day. Me, I do all shit. Okay, so my day looks a lot different than the average person. So they'll come to me and they'll ask me questions. My answers are very short. I don't have time to communicate because I'm over here and you're asking me about Z. And bro, I need you to get, like, I'm very short and I'm very, fuck, I hate PT Cruisers, but I gotta let you go, bro. Well, if you're not gonna fucking get over, I'm trying to let you over. Are you gonna go? Sheesh. I do not like being. Will you drive your car? What are you doing? You're gonna cause a fucking accident, bro. What an idiot. What a stupid fucker. Why would you try to change lanes in the middle of the fucking intersection, dude? The fuck? People are not thinking. It's bumper to bumper traffic, and you about to put people in a. That's why I don't do mini cruisers, okay? I do not like them kind. There's certain cars, you guys, that the drivers, in my opinion, are very much all the same, okay? And PT Cruisers, the mini fucking cars, them drivers piss me the fuck off all the time. All the time. It's never ending. Anywho, so today it was kind of cool because obviously, folks came in. I had a guy, I don't know why he doesn't like me. He's Jewish, right? And I actually understand why he don't like me because I think I'm probably the real Jew, right? I'm the real Hebrew, right? I'm the girl with the cotton hair, right? I was wearing my poof the other day. I was like, oh, my hair feel like cotton. It is. My hair is actually like, when you do it, is a ball of cotton. I just know that that's what Jesus, was described. His hair was described as. I mean, I don't know anybody else's hair that looks like some cotton but us. Okay. So I was like, yeah, my hair, I was proud of my poof. But I was like, man, it's so soft. It really feels like a cotton ball. Okay. And you could tell, like, I don't have nothing against Jewish people. Like, I don't really know. Like I say, I'll say this again. I don't know the dynamics enough, overseas to really like have any sort of hatred towards anybody. I really don't care. However, I do know it's a white male from Texas, right? You older, right? You don't understand how it is that you know more than me when it comes to tax, but I'm your boss. Yeah, that would fuck with me too. The problem though is you're older than me and you work for this company, right? So we really got to look at the dynamics. A lot of older folks don't understand that the younger folks have levels of skill sets that they just don't got. And it's not that they don't have it. They could easily get a girl that can do the work that I do, but I really think it would have to be a girl that does it because women pay so much more attention to detail, right? This is a job that requires everybody to pay attention to detail. And because there's so many moving parts in my position, dropping the ball is really not an option. It happens, but for me, if it happens, that means I genuinely forgot. It doesn't mean I wasn't working, right? Or I didn't see it type thing. So apparently I ruffle feathers. I don't know why, y'all. I really laugh at it because it is this white privilege type of thought. Like, how dare she? Like, we had a meeting and I'm talking to the owner, right? I'm about 5 minutes into this meeting and I'm talking to the owner. And I'm talking to the owner's, family, and we're chopping it up. And I was like, oh, shoot, I got a meeting I need to attend, right? Because we're having a good convo. I hadn't seen the girl in a very long time. And obviously, she wanted to talk to me. We're talking about business and what I expect from her in her business, right? When she's charging me, stuff like that. Now, I run into this meeting. I'm literally 5 minutes late, right? Now, there's the manager's already in the meeting. So the meeting has started. I'm just late. Okay. The dude says, oh, well, that's 5 minutes that I won't be able to get back. I said, you're fine. You'll be all right. Like, I don't got time for that emotional bullshit. If I'm 5 minutes late, I'm 5 minutes late. The meeting has already started. So I don't know what to tell you, bro. You'll be all right. Do you know the dude started cracking up? And it was one of those I'm irritated because she said what she said, cracking up. And it's like, so I started cracking up. I'm like, fuck, if you gonna laugh all oddly and loud and obnoxiously, I'm gonna laugh with you. Why not? Why not laugh at your fucking laugh? And then I said, like I said, you'll be all right. Dude got so mad. And I'm like, why? I don't know, but okay. Shit like that. Like, I'm not here to fucking amuse you, bro. I'm here to get the job done. So if you find me being late and being like, oh, my bad, I'm 5 minutes late as an issue and it's wasting your day, you already here. You pay for it. You want a salary. You're fine. But they hate me because I don't give a fuck. And I'm not here to give a fuck. I'm here to do a job, right? And I know my personality is a bit, especially when you don't know my personality, right? If you're not understanding that I really don't mean any harm when I'm looking at you, like, what do you want? Hurry up, spit it out because I got shit to do. Like, I'm really not meaning any harm. You need to read it as it is. But these white people want you to cater to them and their emotions and, woe is me. I don't got time for that shit. I just don't. And it was cool to see everything kind of line up in a way where it's like, oh, okay. So, like, when this girl came in today, she finally came in. I needed her to get some shit done. So, my boss was on it. He is not playing with this girl. He told her, I'm going to end up removing you from this position. Like, that's where he's at. You might as well give it to me. I've been doing it. Right. Um, So she's like, well, just doing her little stuff. And she's asking me questions and she starts cutting me off or starts to go to cut to the point where she's like, oh, I didn't mean to cut you off. Well, the fact that you're cutting me off says a lot. That shit is rude. I'm going to need you to shut the fuck up and let me talk. So to see, like, I think it's because my boss knows, like, I'm very easy to work with. I really am, in the sense that I really don't cause any harm. I don't cause any problems. My only objective is to get the job done right and get it done so that we're getting positive reviews, not negative ones, right? That is my job. I manage 600 plus clients. Like, I got a very hefty workload, especially come tax season. I expect people to do their jobs. I expect you to do them right. And like I said, if the girl's workload was never put on me, we wouldn't even be having the conversation, right? I wouldn't give a damn. But the fact is, I was fed the fuck up. Where is this bitch at a spa? Well, I got work that I need done, and this bitch is every day when she comes in every other week, she talking about something new, about how she got issues, and oh, I had this personal issue, and I had this come up, and it's like, nah, bitch, I'm gonna need you to do some work. You understand me? You want my respect? You want to be hugging on me and shit? Bitch, I'm gonna need you to do your job. This shit is getting old. It's been the full year and I'm officially sick of it, especially when you coming at me talking about what I need to be doing for my work. Not an option. So it was cool. Like I said, I think, again, my boss understood where I was going, right? He definitely did. They all do. And I can't take it anymore. I'm gonna need a pay raise, or you gonna need her to come in. It's just one of the two. It's not an option. So, of course, everybody had their little snippy attitudes, and I walked with my head held high because I got the support of my team, which is leadership, period. Period. So went completely different than I expected it to go. But it was cool because again, it's not about putting people in their place. It's, hey, you were hired to do a job. I'm gonna need you to do that job. That's it. That's all I'm saying. We don't need to be buddy buddies. I don't need you to buy me lunch. I don't need to eat the food that you cook at your house where I can't see if you washing your hands or not. I don't need none of that. I don't need a good morning. I don't need shit from you outside of you doing your fucking job. That's it. And again, like I told my boss, I said, y'all never see me walk out. And I think that's part of it is they're realizing she'll never walk out. If anything, I'm one of the crew. But people have their limits, man. You can only take so much. There's only so much that I can take. And I'm not ever, one thing I learned through this experience is you gotta stand up for yourself. You got to. Like this idea that I'm a not say anything and now you quit and you're walking off jobs and shit. I don't give a damn. If you're black, you better figure out a way to get that shit up off your chest. And really to a point where it makes a difference, meaning that if I go to my tax manager and I complain, that does not change the situation. And like I told my tax manager, I would have never overstepped, and I want him to understand, like, you know, him and I talk about the same shit every day. We talk about this all the time. But when I got a white girl thinking, and it's not, it could have been a purple girl, it could have been a blue girl, it don't fucking matter. When I got a girl that's pushing back after I asked her, I said, because my response to her after she sent me that first chat, I said, excuse me? And I left it there. Question mark. I'm gonna need you to refix your tone with me, ma'am. That's what I said. I'm gonna need you to, you're stepping over boundaries right now. You're out of bounds, you're out of line right now. When she hit me back and said, well, so and so said to reach out to you and have this conversation with you, well, then I'm going to need to speak to so and so then. It's just that simple. I'm going to need to talk to whoever told you to say this. And it turns out was the owner. Hence why I brought the issue to the owner. Problem solved. You know? So I think folks are realizing I'm really not the one. Like, I'm not the fucking one, bro. And I've had enough experience where I feel like I can articulate myself in a manner that really gets shit done. You know what I mean? It may not be what people want to hear. It may not be how people want to hear it, but the reality of the circumstances, this is what it is. I don't have sympathy. We all got personal issues, right? This is fucking tax season. You know the game when you signed up for it. So I don't want to hear any excuse because my promotion, if I choose to stay with this company, is on the line as a result of everybody doing their fucking part. So before you think you're gonna come talk to me, right, about what you think I need to be doing, make sure you're doing it. That's the moral of the story. Make sure you're doing your part. Now, with that said, you guys, I was looking at another position, and these white people think I'm playing. Listen, they want me to come in as a senior bookkeeper, right, to work for them. And from what I understand, the position, I think it's like 62,000 starting, and then it goes up to, I believe, like 80K, right? Dude hits me back a week later because what it tells me is I was their last pick, right? They haven't found exactly what they're looking for, which is obvious. No offense, y'all. This industry doesn't have a lot of quality. Like, the folks are getting old. They're getting to retirement age. And in this age, you got to be able to use digital shit along with the knowledge of accounting and bookkeeping and shit like that. Same thing with tax. This is why these older folks are having such a problem. And they're also used to not having to answer to black people. Okay. So He hits me back a week later. They're looking for like 25 years experience. I don't got that. I got a business, right? I've got experience to the point where I taught myself how to bookkeep, and I'm that good to where I'm able to keep making it a thing, right? And I'm actually very accurate. Like, I'm really good at what I do. Okay. Now, tax, I'm still learning, but tax is always a learning curve. It really don't matter. You're always learning in tax. Um, but bookkeeping, I'm pretty confident. Like, I really got that shit all the way down, right? So they're looking at people. I'm the candidate, right? I haven't heard back from this recruiter for about a week. So it tells me, if they're telling me we need somebody right away, and it's been about a week, I done already blocked the guy on LinkedIn. I was like, oh, he ain't, I clearly don't have a shot at this job. They looking for 25 years of experience, even though I feel like I'm more trainable than someone with 25 years of experience. Okay. Now, the reason why I decided that this job is of interest to me, one, because I want to see what the market is like, right? What are we paying our bookkeepers right now, right? And obviously it depends on the need and the skill set that they're requiring, but they're like, hey, look, we'll train you. This is international bookkeeping, it's international accounting. And I'm thinking to myself, man, if I get in there, because they say they're willing to train me, that might be a good opportunity, right? To really, because my skill sets are so much more than tax. But I don't want to be paid less than what I'm worth as a bookkeeper, so I will not do it for this company. It's just not an option. I do it if I have to for tax, but if I get paid much more doing bookkeeping on my own, the numbers got to make sense for me to want to do bookkeeping for another company, right? You're not paying me 15, 20 an hour thinking I'm going to do some bookkeeping. I'm sorry, because at that point it's not worth it. It's just not for me. Um, so they hit me back up and he wants me to tell him my number first. Let me tell you guys, in negotiations, right? The person who spits out the number first usually doesn't get the offer that they're looking for. So right now he's like, hey, what are your salary requirements? Why didn't you ask me that when we spoke? The fact that you're asking me this is telling me that you're gauging whether or not I'm worth that salary price. Little does he know my salary is pretty high. So of course I'm gonna come in the gate with something higher. But now I gotta figure out what kind of number. I say $1,000,000, I should let them throw the first number out. Why not? I have the power. They don't. They're looking for somebody like me. All right. So he sent me that email. I said, listen, what dates and times work for you? To meet or whatever, for me to meet the owner or whatever. Said, I'll get back to you on that. Okay, well, you get back to me on that. And then I'll talk salary requirements with the owner, not you. I do things a little different. I'm not an employee. I'm a business owner. My mindset is very much business oriented. And I'm not dumb. You're not paying me at the cheapest thing you could possibly pay me. That's the case. I'm going to tell them the highest pay. And then you figure it out from there. Because if that's the case, I'm going to need 80K. There's my 100 grand for the year. Right? It's very interesting how that works. But the part that I'm having trouble with is, do I really want to leave the company I work for? They don't pay me as much as I'm being offered right now. And that's okay. The balance, work-life balance is something. But I also know if I don't move jobs, I'm never going to see a promotion the way that with this company, the way that I would if I hop jobs. It just is what it is. Yeah, there's a little accident that apparently happened. Everybody honking. Honking ain't gonna get y'all no further. Nah. But So today was, like I said, it was a very interesting day. And for those of you guys who don't know, I'm very direct and real. I don't know how else to be. I'm working on my passiveness, but I'm not a passive girl. And a lot of times when I am being passive, people don't get the hint. They think I'm playing. They think that I'm joking. They don't take me seriously, right? I can drop hint after hint after hint, and they will tell me things like, oh, you're just overwhelmed. Like, oh, you'll be, really overlook what I say. That's kind of what I'm used to. So at some point my personality gets to a point where I'm done dropping hints. I need y'all to figure it out. Right. And if you can't get the hint, I will spell it out for you proudly. Yeah, there is an accident. And it's an actual police officer on the scene for once. Okay. I see you guys. Got everybody backed up from way back there. That's crazy. How accidents clog traffic like that. It's crazy. So yeah, y'all, that's how I feel about the circumstances. Um, Damn, okay, okay. That dude is flying. If you could fly, I could definitely fly. You shouldn't get in front of this car right now, my friend. I ain't flying that fast. Um, so yeah, today was very interesting. It's a very interesting Tuesday. But I think I put it's not I want y'all to understand something. I don't hate white people, but I know the games white people play. And I feel like what today showed me is that I've graduated from those kinds of games. It's just, it's very interesting when you work on yourself, right? And you're growing and stuff like that. Like I said, it's very interesting because I at one point I used to feel, and that's why I was so quiet and closed off from people, because white people at the magnitude that I'm dealing with, right, have the ability to make black people feel like we should not speak up for ourselves, we should not stand up for ourselves because they hold the power. And when you're dealing with dishonest people, you're going to get dishonest shit. It just is what it is. Um so what today showed me is that I've kind of graduated beyond that point where people can really walk all over me, right? I know my worth, I know my value, and I'm not going to allow people to play with me. I don't give a damn black, white, Spanish, it don't fucking matter. You're not going to walk all over me. And I guarantee you, had that conversation gone any old kind of way, I would have had enough pride and dignity to say, you know what? This ain't gonna work out. I'm already there mentally, right? So I want black people to understand it's not about what you say as much. Well, I don't know, because folks say it ain't about what you say, it's about how you say it. But I've learned that I say things, I have a timing with what I say. Um, and I say things in clear English a lot of times when I'm upset, like when I need something to be done, right? I'm very assertive in that way. I wasn't always. I used to freak out. I would go off on people, but even with customer service, like I could be an asshole, but you're still gonna do what I need you to do. That's really how it's been for me these days. um, and I just think I don't even really know. I think that things have changed for me when I started working on myself. That's just what it is, right? And so that's all I can say. I'm grateful that at least they heard me, and that's what I told them. Thank you for hearing me. Thank you for not shutting me down. Thank you not for not gaslighting me, stuff like that. Because even my mentor was like, or my mentor was like, they don't realize how much you actually do for the company, like your skin color and everything. So for those of you guys who don't know, black people are actually in, especially black women. And I know it sounds crazy, but because of the quality of work that we do, because of our work ethic, it's just a natural thing, right? I don't know. I don't know if it's all women, but it is a natural thing. Oh fuck, there's another fucking accident, bro. The fuck? Is anybody gonna come help this person? And what an idiot. So what were they turning? How does shit like that work? I'm like, how does your car, let me pay attention because I'm sitting here. How does that work? And I ain't paying attention, almost hit a car. What are y'all? See, this is why accidents are happening. You over here hitting your brakes and you don't have to. That's crazy to me. You're slamming on the brakes hard. And they ain't going no fast. I don't know why people in the left lane, they get in the left lane talking about we going fast. Now I'm in the left lane. I can't even get in front of this car that's really going slow as hell. Nope, I'm not hitting my brakes, homie. I don't care. And people will do that. They'll hit their brakes in the other lane because they see you going fast. Now that just means you're going too slow. Sometimes, not all the time. And I gotta go slow because there's potholes. So y'all gonna have to be alright. I ain't fucking up my car to go fast. That's not an option. Okay. So it was very interesting today. It was cool to see the dynamic flip like that because it's rare when it does. Like I said, it's no shade with white people, but we all have a common experience, which means that white people are pretty much the way that they are. When you got more than one person saying something, it must be true, right? And dealing with the privilege levels, I think I don't know that people are really, because part of me feels like maybe they're not racist. Maybe they're just used to a level of privilege, just as I am used to a level of privilege. I am. When I don't get it, I'm like a white girl mentally. And I think that fucks with white people too, because I expect to get my way. That's just what it is. I don't know what to tell you. And when I don't get my way, I throw a temper tantrum. Yes, I do. A grown ass adult temper tantrum. You right. I've just learned how to get my way. Where other people, like I said, it ruffles feathers because they don't understand how they see me, especially the men. She's pretty. She don't know as much as us. And as far as tax, how come she's my boss and she black and she young? Guaranteed those thoughts run through their head all day long. I'm used to it by now. I just appreciate my boss being able to navigate. And I'm not talking about the tax manager because he's more like my colleague than my boss. I'm talking about the owner. I appreciate the owner being able to see right from wrong, seeing, hey, look, this ain't right. Like I hear her listening to me, not gaslighting me, because sometimes I feel like he'd be gaslighting me, but he had no choice because other people were coming to him saying, no, she's right. You see what I'm saying? So, it's cool. It is what it is, you guys, but I definitely wanted to share that update, right? I appreciate my experience today because what it tells me is that I can speak. I can talk, right? I can express how I feel, right? And I can do so in a way that's accepted, that's heard, that is respected, right? And it tells me that I've grown, number one, but it also reaffirms that I have a voice. That's important. So I'm really grateful for everything today, you guys. And that is my update. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Let me know what y'all think down in the comments below. But with that being said, y'all, I'm out. Peace.